おはようございます。今日は4月25日です。土曜日です。Today is Saturday, April 25th. High school choirs are now auditioning for next school year. Contact Mr. Brummeyer by email to schedule a remote audition time or ask questions. Concert choir and bass choir do not require an audition. We have a place for everyone who wants to be part of our community. Urbandale Community School District families can still get Chromebooks if they need them. They need to email or call Dr. Carrie Schluter to learn what time for pickup each day. Hashtag I decided. Decision day is May 1st. Urbandale High School seniors, parents, and guardians are invited to fill out a survey before April 30th so we can celebrate our seniors' postgraduate plans. Go to www.uhsguidance.com for more information and that survey. Mr. Dupuy has sent out an email to band members, so please check your email for that. UHS will be sending 4 students to the 2020 Virtual Iowa Youth Institute, hosted by the World Food Prize Organization this Monday. We're proud to recognize the work of Emma Johansson, Shay Kent, Christian Lopez, and Josie Rose as they work to minimize global food insecurity and earn a scholarship to Iowa State. If you'd like to get involved next year, email Ms. Forrestal, let her know. Seniors planning to take the AccuPlacer in March. Currently, DMAC is waiving some assessment requirements for many programs. Check in with the DMAC recruitment team to see if this applies to your program. Please go to www.dmac.edu for more information. Birthdays. For Saturday, April 25th, Micaiah Small, Javon Wozni, Brianna Kruger, and Edem Berdar. Happy birthday to you. Okay, today I'm going to be reading to you from this book, The Armchair Economist. The Armchair Economist. This book came out quite a while back, before Freakonomics was a thing. This was kind of a similar type of book about how to use economics in your everyday life. Pretty interesting book, and I'll be reading a selection of this to you. The Power of Incentives. How Seatbelts Kill. Most of economics can be summarized in 4 words. People respond to incentives. The rest is commentary. People respond to incentives sounds innocuous enough, and almost everyone will admit its validity as a general principle. What distinguishes the economist is his insistence on taking the principle seriously at all times. I remember the late 1970s and waiting half an hour to buy a tank of gasoline at a federally controlled price. Virtually all economists agreed that if the price were allowed to rise freely, people would buy less gasoline. Many non-economists believed otherwise. The economists were right. When price controls were lifted, the lines disappeared. The economist's faith in the power of incentives serves him well, and he trusts it as a guide in unfamiliar territory. In 1965, Ralph Nader published Unsafe at Any Speed, a book calling attention to various design elements that made cars more dangerous than necessary. The federal government soon responded with a wide range of automobile safety legislation mandating the use of seat belts, padded dashboards, collapsible steering columns, dual braking systems, and penetration-resistant windshields. Even before the regulations went into effect, any economist could have predicted one of their consequences. The number of auto accidents increased. The reason is that the threat of being killed in an accident is a powerful incentive to drive carefully. But a driver with a seatbelt and a padded dashboard faces less of a threat. Because people respond to incentives, drivers are less careful. The result is more accidents. The principle I am applying is precisely the same one that predicted the disappearance of gasoline lines. When the price of gasoline is low, people choose to buy more gasoline. When the price of accidents, that is, the probability of being killed or the expected medical bill is low, people choose to have more accidents. You might object that accidents, unlike gasoline, are not in any sense a good that people would ever choose to purchase. But speed and recklessness are goods in the sense that people seem to want them. Choosing to drive faster or more recklessly is tantamount to choosing more accidents, at least in a probabilistic sense. An interesting question remains. How big is the effect in question? How many additional accidents were caused by the safety regulations of the 60s? Here's a striking way to frame the question. The regulations tend to reduce the number of driver deaths by making it easier to survive an accident. At the same time, the regulations tend to increase the number of driver deaths by encouraging reckless behavior. Which effect is the greater? Is the net effect of the regulations to decrease or to increase the number of driver deaths? The question cannot be answered by pure logic. One must look at actual numbers. In the middle of the 1970s, Sam Peltzman of the University of Chicago did just that. He found that the two effects were approximately equal size and therefore canceled each other out. There were more accidents and fewer driver deaths per accident, but the total number of driver deaths remained essentially unchanged. An interesting side effect appears to have been an increase in the number of pedestrian deaths. Pedestrians, after all, gain no benefit from padded dashboards. I have discovered that when I tell non-economists about Peltzman's results, they find it almost impossible to believe that people would drive less carefully simply because their cars are safer. Economists who have learned to respect the principle that people respond to incentives do not have this problem. If you find it hard to believe that people drive less carefully when their cars are safer, consider the proposition that people drive more carefully when their cars are more dangerous. This is, of course, just another way of saying the same thing, but somehow people find it easier to believe. If seatbelts were removed from your car, wouldn't you be more cautious in driving? Carrying this observation to the extreme, Armin Alchian of the University of California at Los Angeles has suggested a way to bring about a major reduction in the accident rate. Require every car to have a spear mounted on the steering wheel, pointing directly at the driver's heart. Alchian confidently predicts that we would see a lot less tailgating. All right, and that's from the Armchair Economists. Have a great Saturday, UHS.